Correct, and I'm going to be talking about the substance abuse issues in client services class, online class, and giving you a brief introduction. It appears as if I'm going to have to do this in segments because it may last longer than about 10 or 12 minutes. But anyway, welcome. This is who I am in case we haven't met. Chances are I've met most of you, but nevertheless, this is a fully online class, and I've posted some things to try to help get started in the class, as well as describing the class itself. Already my banner is missing for the North Carolina Substance Abuse Professional Practice Board, but that's okay. I want to talk. I posted a few announcements. One is a general announcement about welcoming you to the class, and before you get started, that you can go to this website here, which is the distance education website, and go through a preview of a Blackboard class and a student orientation in case this is the first online or even hybrid class that you have taken so far in your education. All classes at Wake Tech have Blackboard, so to become familiar with it is rather important, and it's not complicated. It talks about, this announcement here talks about after you reviewed the Blackboard orientation, you can go to the syllabus, and actually the syllabus in this section and all course information is located in course information. So you can go here to view the syllabus, and we'll do that in a minute. It also talks about going to assignments to see what assignments here you might have. You want to check that regularly. There are weekly assignments due. We will talk about that this class start date is January 5th, which is a Wednesday, which means that every following Wednesday by the end of the day is 11:59 p.m., your assignments are due for that week. We need to account for attendance for online classes, and we will do that by checking to see that you have turned in assignments on time. If you have turned in no assignments for that week, it is considered an absence. You'll also find some information in the content section. To go to discussion boards, you would click here. We will have some group exercises. We'll go here. Blogs you can find here. Tools and helpful hints. Let me finish with announcements, and we'll get to all of those. Again, I talked about assignments are due at 11:59 on Wednesday. So the first assignment is due January 12th by the end of the day. We talked about late assignments, tests. Any late assignment or test or any kind of work that is due, again, usually on Wednesdays by the end of the day. If it's not in it by that time, it will not count. You will get a 0 for that assignment. That is department-wide, the Human Services Department, because we can't make exceptions. If we make exceptions for one person because they had to visit their sick aunt in Illinois, then we'd have to make exceptions for other people, and it would go on and on. So therefore, there are no exceptions. If you don't turn in your assignment on time, please don't ask me to give you a special consideration for that, because I can't do it for everyone. your submitted assignments is how I account for attendance. We talked about that, and you could again go through distance education to learn more about Blackboard and the classes that are being offered. Regarding the textbook information, we're going to have one textbook. It's an inexpensive textbook, but with the latest in substance abuse counseling ethics. It's called the Book of Ethics, and it's by Gephardt and Weiss Roberts, and it's from Hazleton, and the ISBN number is here. We will probably get to that in about the third or fourth week. I believe there are 9 chapters in that particular brief text, so the reading will not be extensive, but the information and the content of the chapters is poignant. And regarding substance abuse ethics and ethics in general, it's going to give you the most contemporary information regarding what's happening ethically in the world of substance abuse counseling and treatment. Before we get to the Book of Ethics, we will set down some foundation, foundation in general ethics, and some principles and guidelines, the Code of Ethics for the North Carolina Substance Abuse Professional Practice Board, a decision-making model for when you encounter an ethical dilemma, before we get into the Book of Ethics. That should take us, after the first few weeks, and we start on the Book of Ethics on week 4, approximately. We will run the 9 weeks for that particular text and get into this last portion of this class, which is HIV/AIDS. So, and this is a textbook that you can get online right here. You don't have to purchase it, and it's a tip manual. It's tip 37, as you can see here. And that will account for the last 12 hours of this class. So when you apply your education hours from Wake Tech to the board for a credential, this class will count for 36 hours of substance abuse specific ethics and 12 hours of HIV/AIDS, which is a requirement. Let me note also that we will be using information and extracts from Corey and Callahan's 8th edition text on what is it? Issues and Ethics in the Helping Profession, I believe, is the title. Yeah, Issues and Ethics in the Helping Profession, sorry. And this is general ethics, but it's most important because Corey and Callahan have been working on this text for years, and they are rather expert in the education of ethical matters. So this text is one of the textbooks used in the written exam for your substance abuse certification, as well as your LCAS exam under the domain of professional responsibilities. And the last 2 portions here that I'm going to mention that I already have to some extent is about assignments accounting for attendance. Hopefully you got that. You turn in assignments, you get marked for attending class. You don't turn in assignments, you get marked absent. 2 absences exceeds the Wake Tech 90% attendance policy, so you could be withdrawn for the class with 2 absences. 3 absences is an automatic withdrawal from the class. No exceptions. Sorry. And the last announcement here is the assignment work identification. That when we get to the assignment section, you'll see a scroll, and that indicates that it is an assignment rather than just a notification of sorts. That means that when you open that section, you will submit your assignment in that section. Once submitting an assignment through an assignment in Blackboard, you can verify its submission by going to the grade book, the grade center rather, and looking under your name under that particular assignment, and you should see a green block with an exclamation point in it, which indicates that your assignment was successfully submitted. I'm going to stop this now and save it and try to load it for you and come back and talk about the remainder of the class. Thank you for your attention.